Welcome back, everybody, and for those watching my video for the very first time, my name is Brian, aka Middle-Aged Bald Guy, and I guess you can call me a mixture of an amateur historian and adventurer. Now, you can read history in history books all day long. What I try to do is actually bring you to the grave sites of those people in the history books. Their story is a little more real when you're standing there and their headstone's right in front of you and their grave site's right in front of you. Now, it could be anyone from ex-presidents to Civil War heroes or to those pioneers that came here from other countries with nothing but the clothes on their back and their families to get that opportunity to establish themselves in America and to create communities and towns and even cities. So my goal for you, well, is to entertain you, and hopefully you might be able to learn a thing or two along the way. Today is no exception. So today's video, I'm actually going to try to find a cemetery that I failed to find before. Now, I did a video on this cemetery in spring of 2021. It's the Munch Family Cemetery. I failed to find the cemetery. In the summer of 2022, several descendants of the Munch family contacted me. One of them gave me some great information and said it was her relative Ignatius Munch and his wife that came here from France in the early to mid 1800s, and she suspects that he and his wife are some of the people buried in this cemetery. And the other person told me that her father, as a boy, remembers seeing this cemetery, and that in my first video I was looking in the wrong spot. Now, this cemetery was not on any topography maps. It was on Find a Grave, and obviously the location on Find a Grave was not correct. But with the new information I have, I'm going to go back and see if we could find the cemetery. Now, I couldn't go back here during the summer because the brush is too thick. It is winter now. The brush should not be as thick. This is the best time to try to find it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so when I first came here, I was looking on this side of the road. I'm told the cemetery is on this side of the road. Now the question is, can I access this area? The brush looks pretty dense. I'm going to go up here a little bit to see if there's maybe a deer trail or someplace I can access this area a little bit. I think once I get through that initial brush, I should be okay. So here's a map of 1938, and I was looking over here initially. Well, he said the cemetery is east of the road, which is a vast space, but you can see this swampy-like area over here, and then another kind of swampy-like area or wetland there. So I'm thinking the cemetery is somewhere between those two, and that's where I'm going to start looking. And I suspect it's not far from the road, because why would you build a cemetery far from the road? All right, let me see if I can get in here. Very dense brush, even in the winter. This is very dense brush. Let me see. You know, this was all farmland at one time. You didn't have all this brush. I'm just going to charge through here like a bull and see what happens. Okay. So I want to head back toward that road a little bit, and I suspect that's the best place we're going to find it. Now, I drove down the road and looked into the woods here. I did not see any tombstones, because that would be way too easy, right? Okay. Let me go see if I can kind of see where the road's at. Now, if I can go due north from here and get through that way, we'll be pretty good. This is some of the densest forest I have ever been in. Even in the winter, it is incredibly dense. Now, one thing that I just thought of is I hope if there are tombstones, if there is a cemetery, that they're not knocked over. Because if they are, and if they're covered with snow, I could walk right past them and not even see them. I'm about in that area that I targeted, at least I believe I am. I'm not sure where I'm at. The good thing is, since it is snow on the ground, I have a trail. So I know exactly how to get back out of here. Wow. This is really, really dense. It's amazing to think that this was all farmland 100 years ago. And now it's difficult to walk through. All right, I'm gonna figure this out. Okay guys, there's something in front of me here. Oh, as I get closer to it, I don't think it's a tombstone. From afar, it looked like a tombstone. It is not a tombstone. I have found a couch. An old couch. Honestly, it's a little disappointing. All right, I will continue to move forward here and hopefully not find any more discarded furniture. Okay, I've made it to the top of that hill, and I think this is that area on the map that I'm targeting. I don't see anything of interest as of yet. Hold your horses. Oh, guys, there's a stone here. There is a stone here. I may have found it. There's a stone leaning up against a tree, frozen into the ground. But that looks like a marker. That looks like it might be a marker. Yeah, I don't want to break it, but it's frozen into the ground. Let me look around here some more. Wait, I see something else. Right here, right here. This is definitely, looks like a tombstone. This is a tombstone, guys. This is a tombstone. Shoot. I did not bring my flashlight with me. I don't think it would even help in this instance. I can't make out anything on that. It's broken. It's broken up here. There's some engraving here. Oh man, I really wish I could make out what this says. I cannot. It's in too bad a shape. Maybe I could take a photo of it and enhance it in Photoshop somehow. But I would love to know what that says. All right. This is definitely the cemetery. Finally. And it's where I thought it might be. Which I'm giving myself some kudos for that. All right, I'm going to look around here some more. I'm afraid that I don't know how many tombstones are here. I have no clue. But I'm afraid that some are knocked over and it might be difficult to find them. So I'm just looking. So I found the one here, and I found the one up against this tree. Let me look on the other side of this tree to see if there's anything. No, there's not. I suspect this is a small cemetery since it's really not on any maps, but I am going to walk the area a little bit. I hope I can find another tombstone. It's a shame that one is in such poor shape that I can't read it. And if I step on something solid, I know too that could be a tombstone. Okay, I just went about 75 feet out from that tombstone, and this area is, the vegetation in this area is less dense. Definitely less dense. I did not find any other tombstones, however, but this is a tremendous success to find two tombstones in the woods without any real aid of any kind, just somebody telling me I looked on the wrong side of the road. I think this is a tremendous success. I guess to be more successful, I would have liked to have been able to read a name off the tombstone. As we go back to it here. Unable to read a name. I can't help but wonder if there's any knocked over that, I haven't identified because they're under the snow. Very realistic possibility. There's that tombstone. And then the small tombstone up against the tree. And that's it for this small cemetery. So I wonder if one of these tombstones belongs to Ignatius, or perhaps his wife. Okay, everybody, wow, this was a success despite the fact that I wasn't able to identify any names on the tombstone. I found the Munch Family Cemetery. It appears, from what I can see right now, there's 2 plots. Could be more, there could be some under the snow. I would like to come in here after the snow melts just to double check, although this vegetation is pretty darn dense. Awesome. Thank you so much to those descendants that watched this video and stepped forward and gave me some tips about the location of the cemetery, very helpful. And as always, until next time, you know it, keep exploring.